We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome to These Unprecedented Gays, featuring Joe Granelli and Paul Smith. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review wherever you stream your podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at tugayspod and email us at tugayspod@yahoo.com. We hope you enjoy.
Yes, it was very Tech Week was a lot. You know how it goes. So that was my week. It was a lot of practicing, a lot of rehearsing. I still feel fatigued vocally, so hopefully I can speak today.
I mean, but did you have fun doing the show?
Oh yeah, I think this one was very like poppy, so it was Britpop, and there were just like a lot of moments of like fan not involvement. What would you call that? Interaction.
Yeah.
And there it is. Thank you. My parents came and they.
I know it's
they
pictures.
liked
They're so
it.
cute.
I
can't wait to have them on the podcast.
My dad was like, "We're gonna stay another day." I was like, "Okay, do it."
Well, for those of you who thought we just kind of clipped this wrong, we didn't. We just introduce us.
Oh, I'm Paul.
Oh, and I'm Joan.
And we're These Unprecedented Gays.
It is who we are.
And we're just talking about...
we're just catching up.
Joe and Nick did the San Diego Gay Men's Chorus concert recently over the weekend. And it was called Britpop. And it was like all pop music from people from across the pond.
From Brit. Our friend Brit. She's great. From Brittany. Brittany Pop.
Joe did have a good time from the videos. You can see all of his dancing he was doing.
I know.
Although there was I feel like this course is very vocally demanding, or this show, and it's like they all are, but like towards the second show we did Bohemian Rhapsody, and I was like, there's nothing coming out of my mouth. Like there's no sound.
And you're singing T1, right? Mm-hmm. You're singing really high, which again makes you work harder.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like it's just. There was a lot of words, too.
Look, this ain't no Beyonce song, okay?
That one year we did a Michael Jackson one, and I was just singing T2, but they had it so high.
Oh, yeah.
To be like,
was it Jerome?
It was Jerome. It was an all Jerome show.
Fucking Jerome.
For the audience, Jerome's one of the arrangers for gay men choruses around, but he's very literal. So if a singer sings it in a very high key, he writes it in that high key.
Oh,
So, but that's what made me become a baritone.
Really?
It was so much work
to
sing high like that, and I was exhausted from it. So I stepped down.
I'm like, I want to talk to Charlie, because it's like, I have an idea for a show.
Okay.
And it would be like, All For You or Hopelessly Devoted to You. And it's all songs
from
that
Greece.
have been requested by our fans and audience and everything like that. Like, from the San Diego Gay Men's Chorus, fandom. So they could be like, we really want you to do this song. We really want you to do this song. It could be a new song or a song that they've already done before or something, but what they want to see. Because then you get more engagement with the people out there.
I like that idea.
Awesome.
I like that idea.
If you donate $25,000, then we'll definitely do yours.
This whole concert hopelessly devoted to you.
Wait, did someone donate?
No, I'm saying your song choice would be influenced by the amount of money you donate to the chorus.
That concert is hopelessly indebted to you.
Exactly.
I thought when you said All For You, my mind was like Janet Jackson, and then you said Hopelessly Devoted to You. I was like, Grease?
Yes, either one.
I was like, Janet Jackson Grease show? I could do it.
Janet Jackson's on tour. She's coming to Chula Vista.
Oh,
isn't she like...
What?
In June.
Janet?
Yeah. Do you want to go?
Oh, yes.
Okay. It's this summer.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later.
All right.
So, San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus is doing a concert. They're doing Over the Rainbow. Or no, Yellow Brick Road. And it is songs from Wicked, The Wizard of Oz, The Wiz, and Elton John.
Oh.
That would be fun.
Wouldn't that be cool? You could fill a whole concert with good music from all of those.
Oh, yeah. 100%. It's funny, Elton John, so we did Hold Me Closer, and my dad was like, I hate that song. Because it's a Britney Spears, Elton John mashup, new one. And he's like, every time it's on the radio, I just feel like, man, it's not the original. And I'm like, okay, but like, he's like, you guys sang the wrong version. I was like, no, we sang the correct version because it wasn't Tiny Dancer.
Yeah, exactly.
It was Hold Me Closer.
Now, was this your parents' first time seeing the chorus?
Oh no, this is like
They've come to the last couple of shows.
Oh, okay.
they came to the summer show last year. They've come to a couple, yeah.
You just squirreled them away because I know Paul and I have never met them.
Right.
Just
It's
like
kind of
we've
like
never
we've been to your
seen-
place.
Yeah.
Well, no, like you guys know me. Like the minute the show is done, like I'm out of there.
I think they're fantasy parents.
Oh, they're fake. Yeah, I actually. It's funny. The picture I posted on Instagram.
Your parents from Canada?
They were actually hired actors. Hired actors.
And not even union.
Yeah, they're not making good wages. I can guarantee you that. No, but that was so. I mean, that was kind of like my week. And then I know you didn't ask me how your week is doing, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
How was your week, Joe?
So that was mostly it. But I will tell you, yesterday was like avocado gate, and I feel like I don't know if I'm like just overreacting, but like I wanted an avocado so fucking bad yesterday. I was like, I just want an avocado to like top as like on the top of a salad, right? I went to Smart and Final. I went to Whole Foods. I went to Ralph's. I went to Trader Joe's. There were no ripe avocados.
I want an avocado real bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, I want an avocado real bad.
Avocado.
But I was like, fuck this shit. Like, no one has fresh avocados. And Whole Foods, you can't buy a sliced up avocado from the deli counter. So,
You know why?
no.
Because it starts to go brown the minute they...
I don't care. I was like, I just want a fucking avocado. And
It'll be $1.29 for the avocado and $8 for the knife to cut.
I almost was going to get like a BLTA and just be like, can you just... I'll pay for the sandwich, but just give me the avocado.
You just wanted the A.
I am wrong. Yeah.
All about the A.
So the PSA for everyone is if you get an avocado, you have to like plan about it and like buy them early.
Yeah, it's hard because like the ones right now, it's like they're all like I worked at the Waverly like a week ago, and all the avocados we got in were super hard.
They were
like,
rock hard.
Yeah,
That's
they were. Strong like bull. Hard. Yeah.
You could throw that at someone and knock them out.
Can you do a thing though? Can you like microwave it to like? What's the solution with the?
There is none. It's
Time.
just, you have to like. I mean, you could probably take it and do the whole bowl thing.
Okay.
I wonder if you could do that, like what you do with butter.
What bowl?
Like you take boiling hot water, pour it in a bowl, then pour that out, and then take the bowl and put it over butter, and it
Softens
makes
it?
It softens it really quickly.
Oh.
I wonder if you could do that with an avocado to kind of ripen it a bit. But technically, there's nothing really you can do that I know of.
It's
if
like a
any of our
banana.
listeners out there have any
Yeah.
tips on how to ripen
Avocado
avocado hacks, send it to us at tugayspod@yahoo.com.
I think there used to be one for bananas that you put it in a bag or something.
Yeah, but it
because
still
the-
takes time.
the
Like
gas that it
The gas that it emits is what turns it yellow.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the way to prevent it is you put plastic wrap across
Yep.
the very top
Tip.
Yep.
of your banana. Just the tip, though.
just
Just
the
a
tip.
tip.
We're very sexual today.
I know.
I mean, we always are. Next, Andy's gonna be talking about his meat.
But I wish that there was because there's not really. And the best thing to do is when you have an underripe avocado is don't put your avocado in the refrigerator because it's not going to help it get ripe. You have to leave it out.
Yeah, so that was my debacle and dilemma of the week that I had yesterday. And so then yesterday I was like, I'm not eating the salad. I'm just going to eat cookies
Your
instead.
debacle.
Yeah.
There's a hack right there.
Throw an unripe avocado into a paper bag with a ripe banana
For
fold
a
down
day
the
or two.
opening, and leave it at room temperature
this
on
is
your counter.
insane.
Listen,
Yeah, so
I need
there's
something.
no-
I need something that will like speed up that process in like 30 minutes.
What if you put the banana and the avocado in there, and then you open it up, and there's like little banana avocados in
Avocanas.
When a banana and avocado love each other.
What'd you say? Bananocado? Yeah. I like that. Bananocado. That's your drag name.
Sounds like a drink.
Right? I feel like banana and avocado together would be like...
I don't know.
Not
The
bad.
texture is pretty soft. So
It's all
I don't
smushy.
know. Yeah.
They put... there's like avocado, like chocolate cake. Like people will like
Yeah, you can
put
use,
it in cake.
You can use it as a fat in baking. And avocado oil can be used in a lot of things, and it's very healthy.
Oh yeah, it's I love avocados. So yeah. Anywho,
speaking of putting oil in weird shit, isn't it like Starbucks is now adding olive oil to coffees and stuff? Is that
a thing?
I think it's a thing. We saw it in LA.
Like,
I didn't see it in LA. Yeah, he saw it.
Wait. Like, they're doing
like specialty drinks
with olive oil.
Olive oil.
Oh.
The funny thing is, I saw it's called an oleato.
Right.
It's a velvety, smooth, lush coffee that nourishes the soul and uplifts each cup.
Ooh, I try it.
It's a blonde espresso roast with an extra virgin olive oil with Partana. I guess it's like, I don't know.
So it's basically an extra virgin blonde.
It's a premium.
Yeah.
It's a premium olive oil.
Okay.
I'm an extra virgin blonde.
Oily. Do they just put oil in the coffee?
I guess it's like mixed together, but like
maybe with a
I do not.
They started
approve of
this
this.
in back in February in Italy, and now select stores in Seattle and Los Angeles are now serving the beverages.
There you go.
So you just saw that, Andy.
Yeah.
Because
we got off our cruise ship and we stopped for Starbucks on the way home out of the LA port.
Did you try it?
Oh
No.
Okay, so what they do is they infuse their blonde roast with the extra virgin olive oil. So the olive oil is not technically
in the coffee.
As part of the drink.
Okay, that makes me feel much better.
So it's actually in the beans, and then it's ground and everything. So that's how they get
that
it.
makes a lot more sense.
You know,
I mean, but like we had when we went to Napa, I mean we had dinner at the restaurant at Meadowood, which is like a 3 Michelin star restaurant. It was the one that burned down.
Maybe rest in peace.
Yeah, and they had a whole dessert that was strictly olive oil. Like olive oil ice cream, and then they had like an olive oil.
But olive oil ice cream is
around.
real good.
Yeah, but it was like a delicious olive oil dessert. I was like, okay, I see you.
And olive oil cake is amazing.
Yes.
I mean, there's not to knock olive oil, but it seemed weird.
Right, we're not hating on
coffee,
olive oil, so don't send us emails about it.
We love olive oil.
We'll sponsor olive oil.
And, I mean, if they want to sponsor us, I'm more than happy to
Rachel
do it.
Ray's EVOO will take it.
I might even be sponsored by Rachel Ray. You know, she's
Got really good nonstick pans. She does. Well, that's all I've ever had. So to me, she does a good job. Okay, so you talked about a cruise, so now tell me about your week.
Okay, so just so everybody knows, we went to on a cruise on Royal Caribbean.
Before you talk about that, did you listen to the cruising song with Gwyneth Paltrow and
Huey Lewis?
Huey Lewis?
No.
Oh.
But I do like that song.
I was like 25 when I learned that she sang that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did she actually sang it?
Yeah. I was like, what? Anywho, your cruise.
So we went out of LA, and we went to Cabo and Ensenada. It's a 5-night cruise on Royal Caribbean. Everybody made it to the cruise, so that's a good thing.
Maybe talk about that.
Yeah, tell us the story.
Because I have like third-party telephone from Nick.
Okay.
But I want to hear it from the source.
All right. So we decided for Christmas last year we were going to get the kids tickets on the cruise, and we were going to let them bring their significant others and stuff like that. So we've been telling them since last year, November, hey, we're going to do this. You're going to need your passports.
And for kids, if you're listening, no tea. All tea, no shade.
Right. We're like, this is factual. We're just putting it out there. You know what happened.
It's hard-hitting journalism.
Millennials be millennials.
Right.
It's hard-hitting real facts journalism.
No hate around here. Oh my God, I'm such a boomer.
Is that a term? A boomer term? Haterade?
Hey, you never heard haterade?
I have.
Are you drinking the haterade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I drink it every day. What do you think's in my thermos?
So we've been telling them, and we were trying not to be pushy for a while. So we're like, every month we just like, hey, how's it going? Don't forget.
And my kids have all had their passports. They just let them expire, so they needed to renew them.
Okay.
And
relatively
Sarah,
easy. Yeah.
At Christmas we gave her old passport so she could get it renewed.
Mm-hmm.
We helped Aiden on figuring out where to get his,
or how to get a copy of his birth certificate because he couldn't find it. Now, kids are between 25 and 30 years old. So we're not talking little kids.
Right.
How do you... do you have to go to... the birth certificate thing, do you have to go to the hospital? No,
you can go to your state and get a certified copy of your birth certificate.
So just like California
There's
or whatever.
a service. Well, he was born in Maryland. So
God.
Maryland. But
he had to go there?
It's all done by mail.
No,
You just have to prove who you are. Like,
you have to show up in person so you can prove who you are.
With your ID. And then they go, stamp. Certified copy.
Here you are.
So, side note, my one son, Sergey, had a couple of times in his life where he lost every documentation that he had.
Oh my God.
Lost his passport, driver's license. And so... he was at the time living in Colorado. He had no way of even getting here to do all the stuff you need to do. His birth certificate was issued, so I didn't even know how to approach that. Like, how do you solve that problem? He had to take a train from Denver to here to be able to do things. And then we started with passport, because if you lose your passport and you have no other documentation, another U.S. citizen, especially a relative, can attest that you are who you are.
Oh my God, really?
So I had to go to like a post office and apply for a passport with him and like sign an affidavit that he was who he was. And then once we did that, then we could go to the state and get a duplicate birth certificate. Or to the county and get a duplicate birth certificate. And then we could go to DMV and get a replacement driver's license.
You just had to attest? That's it?
Yeah, well, I had to show my passport and the birth, I had a copy of his birth certificate. I had a copy of his old passport.
But not, okay.
And they had to fill out form number D3452 in triplicate.
And just life hack for anybody listening, make copies, digital copies of all of your documents, birth certificate, passport page, everything you have. Because even if you lose it, having the picture of it
that's smart,
will help you.
Right.
Damn.
So... we've been trying to remind them, hey, like, make sure you do this. And then Aiden finally got on board with trying to get his. And then, Sarah said that she set out for hers. And, like, I would be like, hey, have you reminded the kids? Like, have we heard anything? And be a couple of weeks out. And he's like, I don't want to, like, bother them. But then we send them a message anyway. So we leave on a Wednesday. The night before, we're out to dinner with a friend. And Andy gets a call, and he's like, "Oh, it's Sarah." And so he goes out to take it, and he's gone for a couple of minutes, and then he comes back, and he's like, he's got this look on his face. Oh, no. And I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, "So Sarah just called and said that she still hasn't received her passport yet."
But so did she send out to get it?
Yeah, she had applied, and they said it would take like 5 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
And 5 to 6 weeks cut it exactly to
oh my God.
So it took a little bit more than 6 weeks, like a day or two more probably, but that was enough. And they don't guarantee it.
Yeah.
Aiden had to, he actually went to a local passport office. You apply, when it's within 14 days of your travel, you can apply in person. And you can go back like 2 business days later and pick it up in person.
Right.
Which
but you pay
a great way to do it.
You pay extra.
It must be like double the cost, right?
I don't know. There's an extra, like expedited, but I think even Sarah paid the expedited fee.
So
the thing is, so many people are traveling now. There's hundreds of thousands of them being.
So they were because like I read an article. They were saying like there's 50,000 applications a day. For people renewing their passports, getting new passports, all that kind of stuff. So, like, in the past, it would take 5 to 6 weeks, but now you have to plan for, like, longer than that because of the amount of...
oh, my God.
Like, the weight of the work that they have to do to get these done.
No, good news. We're going to Mexico, so it's usually not a big deal. And
right.
So I just said, you have to call the cruise line, ask them what to do. Maybe you can go on, because... Carnival actually has on their website, you can go on a birth certificate and a driver's license.
Okay.
Right.
So she called that night. They said you could do it on a birth certificate and driver's license. So I said, so do you have a copy of your birth certificate? And she did not.
Oh, I
said, well, okay, that's not a problem. Do you have a real ID? She goes, yeah, I have an ID, and it's real. I'm like, no. You have a real ID. You know, like you go to the.
Yeah, I have an ID and it's real.
Well, do you have another ID and it's fake? Probably.
Why would she need a fake ID? Isn't she like 25?
No, it wasn't. It was, but I mean, she just.
I have an ID and it's real.
So I was like,
I thought those were mandatory.
Before like next year, it becomes
mandatory. Okay. Did that get pushed over?
Something.
I think it's later this year.
Oh my god.
October.
So she basically was supposed to get it like the day of your guys'
around there
or departure.
I mean, she was supposed to get it right before, but it was just cutting it too close. Well, and you know, like. It's fine because she ended. I had a copy of her birth certificate.
Okay.
So no, it's 2025. You have until 2025 to get your real ID.
Now?
Yeah.
Because you won't be able to fly without
COVID.
Or you bring your passport.
Maybe yeah.
So she made it.
How did she get permitted in?
She was able to do it with her driver's license and a photocopy. Of her birth certificate, even though it wasn't certified,
right?
Which was great. I was really relieved.
And I mean, she got to the port before us. We were like, wait, what? It was a lot of fun. We had a good time with the kids and stuff. You know, because they can drink and everything. So, and they brought their Aiden brought his girlfriend Katie, and then Sarah brought her friend Soraya. So they were
all great.
Yeah, we had a great time with everybody. I did my outfit of the day, but it was more like outfit of the minute. Because like when we were getting ready and we had all the stuff, and he's like, "Why are you packing so much?" And I'm like, "Because I have to have an outfit of the day, a day look, a pool look, and a night look." And he's like, "Wait, isn't your pool look and your day look the same look?" And I'm like, "No, it is not."
I'm right there with you.
But I was like, everybody loved it. They were like, "Oh my god, I'm loving this like fashion review and stuff." And like people were asking me like, "Where did you get that shirt?" You know, blah blah blah. I love it. That kind of thing.
And he was flowing with the caftan on deck.
Let me tell you, the breeze on there was catching my caftan and my pool kimono, and it was like
pool kimono.
Yes, I was giving you licks. Honey, licks. Okay.
I want a pool kimono.
I can get you.
Do you have a house kimono?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and it was really weird on the boat. Okay, so there were a couple of different groups on the boat. So there was a Dungeons and Dragons cruise. Happening at that time.
Which I've heard the movie is amazing.
Wait, I want to watch that too. Yeah.
Anyway. Were they like social though?
No, not really, because they kind of like played all day.
Like, on the like indoors or outdoors?
Yeah, because they had like they're on the boat. There's a convention center. Oh, so there's
a convention center on the boat,
right? So they got a couple of the rooms there so they could play Dungeons and Dragons,
holy shnikes,
and stuff. And then there was a goth cruise happening at the same time, which was so weird because they had like up in like the Crown Lounge or the Cosmopolitan Lounge or wherever. Up on like the 14th deck, one night they had like goth rave or something like that.
Ooh, but that sounds fun. But did they not go out on the front, like on the deck during the day?
They did. Sunlight? It was really weird because
there was a lot of cosplay.
It was a lot of cosplay. There was like a lot of heavy blacks, and then people dressed up like pirates and stuff. So and then there was also. There were a lot of Mormons on this cruise.
Oh.
That's a thing I think is like Mormons love cooking.
Yeah.
And they were all taking their family Christmas card picture.
Yeah, exactly. They probably
with all 100 of them.
Yes. And all of their sister wives and everything.
And all in the same Hawaiian
No, I'm
outfit.
Kidding. I kid. I'm sorry. Please don't attack me.
I mean, it's not a lie.
And then there were like a lot of gays on the cruise.
Really?
Yes. I was like, is this an unofficial gay cruise? Because like I was talking to a couple of people and I'm just like, did I not know this was a gay cruise or something? She's like, there's a lot of them, right? And I'm like, yes,
there's a lot of them.
So, but it was fun. I had my Miami Vice every day. Okay. We didn't get the dining package, which then afterwards I thought maybe we should have, because we ate at all the specialty restaurants while we were there, because we ate at Jamie's Italian, we ate at
I don't think we would have paid more. I mean,
right.
we would have paid more for it, and we wouldn't have done anything differently.
Yeah.
Was the food good?
The food was good. If you ate in the buffet or the main dining room, it wasn't
The food gave us nutrients.
It was adequate.
Right. It served its purpose.
It was not... So they have, like, specialty restaurants, and then they have the main dinner dining room, and then they have the buffet for, like, other things. Nothing was horrible. Mm-hmm. Most everything was under seasoned. Like, they were cooking for a nursing home. Where, everybody's loves it.
But they have, because they serve so many people, it's like... you kind of need a baseline, and then people can adjust from there because you don't. You want to.
That's smart.
That's smart.
Even some of the bread was under seasoned.
Right.
I mean, it was weirdly.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there were a couple of things that Andy had that, like, from the specialty restaurants that were really good. So, I mean, and then the prime rib was really good too. You said
all of the specialty restaurants were excellent. That one dish from the pasta place, Jamie Oliver's restaurant, wasn't good.
Yeah, but then you had the eggplant
parmesan was delicious.
Yeah. Which was, like, really weird because we had this idea of what it should look like, and then it came out and we're like, oh. Because they actually took, like, half of an eggplant, put it on there with the sauce and the cheese and everything, but it was delicious, though.
Yeah, it wasn't breaded. Like, normally you see eggplant parmesan,
it's
like,
sliced,
breaded and sliced thin. This was just a big honking piece of eggplant with no breading, like, roasted, but it really was good.
Yeah. So we did. I'm very competitive, and we did a lot. We did a lot of, like, these trivia, like, name that tune '80s, name that tune musicals.
Let's just say everyone on the ship knew Paul by the end.
It was really cute. This one woman came up to us when we were doing name that tune '80s, and she was like, "I just wanted to come over and tell you guys that you look like you're having so much fun over here, and I think that's awesome." And I was like, oh, thank you. Get out of my way.
Get out of my way, as sung by Kylie Minogue.
And, like, they have a lot going on the boat. Like, there's a ton of stuff always happening at all times. So it's difficult to figure out, like, where you want to be. Because, like, you may want to do one thing, and that's going to happen on deck 4, but then right as soon as that ends, there's another thing happening on deck 14 that you want to go check out. And it's like, oh, I get all the way up there. And, like, I couldn't get the lay of the land. Like, I always forgot what side of the boat I was on.
The starboard?
Yeah, well, no, exactly.
There's the food side and the fun side. Like, the fun side had the theater and the bar and the, like, cocktail lounge where they were doing dance kind of things. And so that was all. And our room, we had a beautiful room.
Yo, gorgeous.
And we're on the fun side.
Okay.
But you'd always get off the elevator and forget what side you're on.
Yeah.
And so you walk in the wrong direction.
Well, I mean, how many rooms do these cruise ships have?
3,000 people on this boat.
Yeah. There were. I think the tally was like 3,700, 3,800 people were on the boat.
Not counting staff.
Oh my God.
Guests.
Right. Yeah. And
that's huge. Crazy.
So we also went ice skating.
Okay.
There's an ice skating
on the ship.
They have an ice show.
Yeah. So we decided to go ice skating, and we get out there, we put the shoes on, we get out on the ice, we're like, oh, this is a lot more difficult than we thought.
Yeah. So did you then watch other people
Well, no, we went around once, took pictures so we could say that we were on the ice, and then we got off.
Not holding on to anything either.
Ice skating is hard.
It is. And then we did laser tag.
Oh my God.
Which was a lot of fun.
I love laser tag.
With the kids. They had a great time.
Okay.
And then we also did an escape room on the boat.
Which was super fun.
It was super fun, yeah.
Okay, there's like so much to do.
There's so much to do.
And Aiden and the kids and I did a puzzle mystery thing. And again, that was super fun. We all had a really good time.
And and the cool thing is like me and Andy could both say, I'm going to go do this, you go do your own thing. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like, it's totally fine with both of us. We're like,
you're like, okay, I got to do more trivia.
Yeah.
But I do think this particular cruise line, it was like the ADHD cruise because nothing lasted more than 40 minutes.
Oh, I'd be perfect for that.
Like you'd have to plan an activity, and within an hour you were planning another activity.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the cool thing is everything's on the app, so you can just go on and
I was going to ask, like, so it's like organized well, where it's like, oh, here I'm going next.
The app was super.
Yeah, because the app could tell us exactly where it was, how long it was going to last, what time it starts, all that kind of stuff. And the good thing is, like, there's so much to do and see, and there's a lot of food. But the problem is like when you have a couple of sea days where you're just traveling to get wherever you need to go, after a while it gets to be like you've walked everywhere because it's even though it's a large ship, it's one of their smaller ships. So the promenade wasn't as big as, say, like on the Allure of the Seas. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here's another thing. These people who have been cruising all their lives, like they do back-to-back cruises and stuff. I'm speaking to you now. Okay? Like, could you not be such a douche nozzle? Like, please just, like, be nice to the people.
So if you imagine, like, some of these people who get, like, the diamond, platinum class status, you know, they even have a gold name tag so that everyone on staff knows them. And they all know them by name because these people will be, like, this one woman that sat next to us at dinner, she had been on...
She was on the same ship the week before.
Right. She's been on, like, 6 cruises since January, and she was going on 2 more in the next month.
Right.
She's probably spending her inheritance, you know, her retirement cruising. But she was a biatch.
Oh.
Nothing pleased her. And so to the point where these tables are all close together. So we're sitting having our first dinner, and she's right next to us. Like, I could reach over and touch her table. That's how close we were. So she brings down a bottle of champagne that obviously they gave her for free. And so she tells the waiter, put the bucket with the ice for the champagne in the aisle so no one can walk by, because I don't like all these people walking by me.
Then why are you on a cruise?
I mean, we're talking about, like, tables that have, you know, there's 50 tables on this open floor.
Yeah.
There's no other path without passing tables. And yet every time someone walked by, she would make a rude comment to them and to herself. And so we had to listen to her. So as much as she was being disrupted by all these people, and then complaining about every effing course she got.
Yeah.
So did you say something to her?
She wanted this, but didn't want peppers in it, and she wanted this, but didn't want that, and it's like
why are you on the ship?
And I'm like, you can tell that she does this because she can.
She gets attention for it.
Yeah, so she basically gets off on that.
And it's just like, but we went to this one where it was like they had it was like a behind the scenes, you get to do a question and answer thing with people from the entertainment part of the ship. So like the dancers, ice skaters, things like that. We didn't know that it was for like platinum and diamond guests. So we're there, and like all these people are like, well, when I was on the Allure of the Seas, which is my home away from home, their costumes are so much nicer. You should get costumes like that.
Oh, you sound like Thurston Howard.
And like somebody brought their like little Pomeranian with them, and I was, it was just like a lot of just way too much.
I will take a pool full of kids over
that. Yeah.
Were they mean? Was that woman mean to like the staff?
She was
demanding
and rude.
Yeah,
right.
I can't stand that.
In a nice way. Like she never raised her voice, but she was insistent on complaining. You know, there was nothing that pleased her.
Right. So anyway.
Jeez.
But we had a good time. We met a lot of cool people while we were on there. The hot tubs it's a lot like Jersey Shore. Meaning there's always a lot of people in them.
And they're like all fucking?
It's like, No.
It's a family cruise.
Oh.
But
I mean, you gotta learn somehow.
But it's like,
depends on what time of the day.
It's like
the goths gotta get off. They got Dungeons and Dragons and dicks.
They got D&D. Okay,
that's Andy.
But they also had like movies on the.
And this was all only in the ship. Did you guys get to leave?
Well, right. So we went to Cabo.
Okay.
And we walked around.
But even Cabo, like you got there around 1:00 in the afternoon. And you had to get back on the ship by 5:30.
Right.
Oh.
So you weren't allowed to do very much in Cabo.
Oh.
Because of the timing of it.
Well, and then when you get off the ship, we'll
clip that.
When you get off the ship, it's a lot because there's a lot of people there who want to sell you stuff. Mm-hmm. And then while you're walking around, they're also like, hey, you want to buy this? You want to buy this? You want some Coke? You want some weed?
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot. But I will say, we had lunch at this restaurant.
And some Coke.
Yeah. we did a couple lines. We ate some food. But like they did queso fundido tableside.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Was it fun?
Was the best. They had like a stone bowl that they had heated up,
like a mortar and pestle.
A mortar and pestle bowl, like a giant one. And then they took tequila and set it on fire in the bowl.
Yeah.
And then they threw the cheese in there.
Damn.
And like swirled it around
and melted it.
I mean, it was melty. It was still bubbling. It was delicious.
Yeah.
Like, and this was in Cabo.
It was in Cabo. So
on your 4-hour break.
So we actually had a good time. But it's just like when you get off on a cruise, wherever they land you, like this was in the marina, which is not downtown Cabo.
Yeah.
So you're kind of in this tourist trap bubble.
Yeah.
That unless you have a taxi or a ride out of it.
4 hours is not long. Is that standard where you're like just there for like a minute?
No, like Ensenada, we were there first thing in the morning. You could have gotten off at like 8 o'clock in the morning if you wanted to, and be there until 7 at night.
And we saw a whale.
Like a full day. Yeah.
We saw whales there in Cabo, and when we were in Ensenada, we saw sea lions because they were right by the boat and everything. And then we also went on a wine tour in Valle de Guadalupe.
Yeah.
Which was good because normally in Ensenada there's not much to do. It's not very pretty and it's kind of really touristy. Yeah. So we didn't know what we were going to do, and we ended up doing this wine tasting to Valle, which was awesome.
Yeah, they took us to 2 different ones.
That's fun.
And they were very very different type of wineries. One was very rustic and homey and large, and the other one was like more of like a winery that also looked like a boutique winery, but they also had like a hotel attached to it and everything. But the rustic one had like amazing tacos there. Course. They had a violinist outside who was just amazing. And then they had these breads. And I'm like, do I want to buy this? Do I not want to buy this? Because I'm like, I can't take it on the boat, but I'm going to like.
Why can't you take it on the boat?
So because you can't take perishable food onto the boat.
It's like it's immigration. Really, you're gonna bring fruit and vegetables. You can't do any of that.
Oh,
so
so many rules.
There was bread, and it was like filled with cream cheese and jalapeno. And then I got another one that was filled with like pineapple and guava.
Ooh,
and I was like, they were both delicious.
How do they know that like you're not bringing stuff back? Like what?
No, they scan everything. Yeah, you have to get scanned when you walk in.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
really?
Yeah,
damn.
So anyway,
you can't like hide the bread.
No, I mean maybe I could have shoved up my booty hole.
But do they scan you or your belongings?
Both.
Oh.
Huh. Sir, what's that cavity in there?
Yeah, sir.
It's my bread. It's still digesting.
Is that bread in your pants, or you have this?
Sourdough.
So, and then we got home on Monday and got off the boat and drove home. So it was a great time.
Actually, one of my favorite things we didn't talk about yet, but a guy did an Elton John impersonation.
Oh yeah,
sing along. He did an Elton John sing along, and it was just fabulous.
Was he good?
He was really good.
Okay.
And like there was a show that had just gotten out, so not only did the bar fill up with people, but in the hallway, all these people like stopped and ended up listening to him and singing along, and it was just a really good.
And I'm an early person, so like when I see something that's like going to start at like 6:30, like okay, I'm going to get there at 6 and stake out my spot and like relax. And sometimes they have to be like, "Do we need to get there that early?" I'm like,
"Yes."
And good thing we did. We had great seats.
Yeah.
And it was like we always had a good view of the piano and stuff like that. So he was really good. And he did another. He hosted another thing on the ship, and I think it was like he was asking questions, and Aiden was like.
And he described him as a James Corden lookalike.
Right. He's like the Wish.com version of James Corden.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And he told the guy to his face.
I mean, and...
They said that to Aiden?
No, they said it to the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So I was like, Aiden does not look like James Corden.
No, but this guy did. He really did though.
Oh no. Okay, then it's fine. He could say it.
Yeah.
And
read the room.
The most tragic part of the trip was, I was there for my 60th birthday. It was kind of the motivation partly behind doing this cruise. So we get to the James Corden event. And I look over, and there is a woman. She has to look 85, 90 to me. And she's wearing a sash, and it says, "It's my 60th birthday." I was like, "Oh my god, this is what 60 looks like. Do I look like this?"
No.
Oh, no.
She's probably a cruise. If she's 60, she's been cruising on that boat for many years.
She must have had a stroke or something. But like life was really hard for her because she obviously did not look 60.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I will say this.
Wear your sunscreen, y'all.
But it really ruined my night.
I will say this though, like I loved how you could just meet all these different people from different walks of life.
Yeah,
they just come together. Everybody was super nice. Like, I didn't have any issues. People were very talkative on the boat.
Friendly, talkative,
right?
Like,
and
did you find the morgue?
No, but they do have one on there,
and
they have a brig.
What's a brig?
Like the prison.
Jail.
Oh,
yeah. So, but I talked to this one woman, and she had her son with her, and he is autistic.
Okay.
But and he was one of those where like he has to have his phone with him at all times because that helps him and calms him and stuff like that. But he was having such a good time dancing and stuff like that. And I saw her one morning, and I went up to her and I was like, I just have to tell you, I think the job you're doing with your son is great. He's fantastic. He looks like he's having a great time, and I hope that you are too. I just wanted to tell you. I think he's awesome and everything. So,
he was not like overstimulated by loud noise or crowds. So he was really having a really good time.
Yeah, he really wanted to dance the entire time.
I love that.
So it was great.
So the $1 million question though is: did Sarah's passport come?
I don't know. I didn't ask her since she got back.
Okay, I need to follow up on that because that's like I need to know like 5 to 6 weeks.
Should be here now.
Yeah. And was she okay? But this what Nick was. I was asking Nick. I was like, was she allowed off the boat?
Yeah. Well, she even thought maybe I can't get off. So like maybe I have to stay on the boat in Mexico.
Okay.
But they didn't. They said it was not an issue as long as you had your birth certificate and you had to bring that with you.
Okay.
To come back on.
It's not like there was a lot to do anyway. Like we walked.
You only had 4 hours, so.
But she was happy to get off.
Yeah.
To get off the boat.
I mean, we're all happy to get off.
But like my stepdaughter, but
like, do you get a little stir crazy if you can't like leave?
No.
Or is the boat large enough to where
the boat is large enough so we could, and there was things that we could go do, like we could go upstairs to the Crown Lounge if we wanted to and check that out, or we'll go hang out at the pool. We'll go grab a soft serve. We'll go get some.
Was it good ice cream?
It actually was really good.
It's like all you can eat. Soft serve ice cream.
It's all you can eat soft serve. And they have like a little like Mexican place you can get food at. And like I said, there's always something to do. So you could you can go on the app and look at what's happening in the next hour or so and find something that you
And this was only a 5-day cruise. So
right.
And one of those days is pretty much wasted day. So you were really on the boat for 4 solid days.
Yeah, and I mean, and like we had a balcony on ours, so like if we wanted to stay in the room and like hang out on the balcony, we could.
Did you drink coffee in the morning and like look at the sea?
It was a little too cold. Like that's one thing. If it were a little warmer, like even some of the outdoor venues during the day, like when we were at sea for the day, I would have loved to spend more time outside, but it was kind of windy and cold a bit.
Oh, really?
Right? So
like,
it's just
because you're on the water. Yeah.
Right. Our last pool day was super cold, so we couldn't really do that.
Like how cold are we talking? Like
it was breezy and like 63.
Oh,
but with a really strong breeze, even though the sun's out, it's still cold.
And you're on the water. Is the pool warm though? Is it heated?
Probably but not because it's heated.
No, it was filled with Europeans.
It's powered by children piss.
Well, the good thing is like we hung out more on like the adult only side.
Okay.
So then we did
Where's the solarium?
Yeah.
Did you go down like the slide? Is there a slide?
We really wanted to.
We did one.
Wait, why is that laughter?
They're sophisticated water slides, big deal water
yeah,
slides.
Yeah.
But we just didn't want to wait in line. And
I was like, I'm always worried that I'm just gonna get stuck. What? I just feel like I'm probably gonna get stuck in one of them tubes or something. I don't know.
Oh, the closed ones? No, only do open ones.
Right.
Those closed ones are scary.
We didn't do the flow rider either.
I didn't know he was there.
No, it's like they're little like on ship like boogie boarding or surfboarding.
No, those are okay. Those are like There's too much hand-eye coordination involved in that.
and when you fall, you get a whole irrigation system.
Right up in your face and everything.
Yeah, I watched. I don't know if it was like a fail clip or something, but there was a woman that like did that and then she just kept tumbling. And that would be me. So I'm like, maybe not.
And we didn't do the rock climbing wall.
Why would? Oh,
but we did go mini golfing.
What?
That was fun.
Yeah.
It was a cute little like mini golf area.
Putt?
Yeah, like a little putt, like 9 holes.
Did they have a bowling alley too?
No, this one did not.
Oh God,
I know.
I can't believe it.
But Home Away from Home, the allure.
I was like,
oh, okay. And like one of the best things on the ship is you have to go on the TV and look up. They have a channel called Royal Movies, and it's just basically movies that Royal Caribbean created on the ship for the ship,
like teen dramas.
Yeah. So it was like there was like this.
Are they bad?
They're so bad. They're good.
they're like designed to feature the benefits of the ship.
Oh no! Is it like
awesome?
Is it like selling it? And it's like, well, Timmy, if you got your soft serve at the lounge,
like the 2 kids get on board and they're like, I can't wait to go to the teen lounge.
Right? And it's like, or, well, why were you talking to that girl while you were over there getting soft serve? But it was like...
I was talking to her because I knew with these deals at Royal Caribbean that I could talk to her forever.
It was awesome, though. Like, one was called Shipping Julia or something. And it was like...
Julia, it took us almost the whole trip to figure out if Julia got connected to the guy that she was dating.
Oh, my God.
Every time you went to the channel, it would start from the same place.
Oh, no.
They were in the cupcake decorating class, learning how to do that.
But it was like, one was like a Cyrano de Bergerac kind of like, but on a boat.
Okay.
With teenagers. And it was like, but it was just, and like one of them, the teenager, looked like he was 30. And I was just like, okay, we're doing that 90210 thing here.
Was it a chef's kiss?
It was so bad it was good.
Yeah.
Like we all like
it was like a cult classic.
Yeah, like Aiden was like, did you guys watch these movies? And I'm like, we watched a little bit of it, but I was like kind of sucked in. He's like, I know! They were awesome.
I wonder if you could get them like on YouTube or something.
You probably can.
Check Royal Caribbean Royal Movies.
Is this your first cruise?
No.
Okay.
I have done a couple of Royal Caribbean cruises before.
Okay.
This one, and then Andy and I have cruised on Holland America like 5 or so years ago, and we took Aiden and a friend of his with us, which was a lot of fun. So
and I've done Carnival in Holland America before.
I've never done Carnival. I know Andrew Davis is on one right now. He's on a 7-night
in
Mexican one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like Carnival probably isn't my vibe. And I kind of know that, and I'm okay with that.
You embraced it. It was fine.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, it's a very family-oriented, very college, budget-friendly cruise. So, and I totally get that. And I'm like, I kind of like...
Not that.
The Royal Caribbean experience.
Yeah.
But I'm also like...
I think we liked Holland America better.
I think we did like Holland America because they were more food focused too.
Yeah.
But I do want to try a Disney cruise just because I hear they're pretty good and it's not
Aren't
just
they
for
like
kids.
wickedly expensive?
They are pretty...
Yeah.
They're on the...
Holy segue, Batman.
Well, we still have to do what? We still have to do mouth to mouth.
Sorry. I was like, I am asking so many questions and we are not getting to the topic, but it's okay.
All right, so we have to get into mouth to mouth before we get into...
We must.
It's
what
tradition.
we're talking about. I know. So that means it's time for mouth to mouth. Mouth to mouth. Resuscitation. All right, what are you obsessed with, Joe?
I'm obsessed with 2 things.
Okay.
It's both music, or they're both music. And I'm late to this. I'm like so late to this. You're going to be like, are you fucking kidding me? So the first is the artist Latto, Latto.
Okay, yes.
Because of Big Energy.
Okay.
And then I'm like, oh, she's good. Like there's a song called Lottery, but I'm just like, she's just like, it's like kind of like beachy, like I just am
summertime
like, yeah. And then the other song that I'm obsessed with is Lizzo's oh my God, About Damn Time, but the purple disco version.
machine?
Yes. So like I know that these have been out for probably like 17 years, but I'm like I'm into them now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then also third, there's at Whole Foods they have like birthday cake Oreos, but they're like not Oreos. They're like I guess sandwich cookies if you want to call them that. But they are really good when you let them out like stale up or whatever, and they're like chewy. So yeah.
Oh.
Like, do you remember the like oh my God, they're like the oatmeal raisin cookies, but they're not oatmeal raisin. Oh my God.
Like from Little Debbie?
No. It's like an old lady. Fuck. It's like
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The pink and white. But it's like the sandwich, and it's like the cream, and it's like those things.
Those
and
are really good.
Stale.
And stale?
Yes, because like they're. Oh my God, what's the fucking? No, those are the circus cookies.
But I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
but like I love getting cookies that are stale, like sandwich cookies that are stale. I don't know why, but like I was telling Nick like I don't like crunchy things, and he loves crunchy things. I want it soft, I want it smushy, and like I don't want it crunchy.
He also likes drinking soda flat.
Yes.
He likes flat soda.
You know what?
Anyway, keep going.
You're welcome to be able to, when you're done with your soda, that we don't waste anything. So those are my obsessions. What are you obsessed with?
So actually, it segues into what we're going to talk about because I'm obsessed with like the fact that we're going to the first ever like Disney promoted Disney After Dark Pride event. But I'm obsessed with people like losing their shit over this. Like people are like, well, what about a straight night? Okay,
are people
like,
doing that?
Yes, they're on Disneyland's like Instagram. Like, what about a straight night? Like, oh, guess what? Every night's straight night. Okay, and then like, what about a Christian night? Actually, they do. Whenever in Disney World, they have the Christmas nights and everything, and they do readings from passages from the Bible. Sometimes Christian music. Yeah, so stories for like that. People are like, what about for the military? It's like there's a whole hotel.
Yeah.
In Disney World called Shades of Green for military. And like they give military discounts and everything. So like what else you got? But my favorite are like gays who are like, don't try to make money off of my sexuality.
Honey, welcome to corporate America. Girl, you go to Pride Month. Bitch.
Our society prides itself on capitalism. They will find anything about you or what you're into.
You bought that rainbow Svedka? Bitch. Wake up.
Well, but at least Disney's doing it year round. It's not just the month of June.
Right, and then like, but also
that's Pride Month usually.
Yeah.
But also, don't say that and then say that you go to like a gay bar. Or, you know, you go to Pride events and things like that. Because all of those events are people making money off of your sexuality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's it. So, I'm just like, you guys are not cool.
Are people, so is there, I don't want to say backlash, but are there a lot of people that are, like, having vocal comments on, like, online?
Yeah. I mean, but they're always going to be like that.
Yeah.
Because they're, you know, they can't let anyone have anything. If they can't have something. So,
tis
all right.
true.
So, we want to talk about Disney versus DeSantis.
The other D&D.
There you go.
Disney and DeSantis.
So, for those of you who may not have heard because you've been living under a rock, but like Ron DeSantis, who is the governor of Florida.
It's Ron DeSanctimonious.
Right, exactly. So... he is going up against Disney because the start of this is basically when he introduced his parental rights and education bill, which is also called AKA Don't Say Gay. Disney took a little bit, but then they finally came out and condoned it and said condemned it. I'm sorry, not condoned it, condemned it. And then they came out and was like against it and against Ron DeSantis and said that this isn't cool. Like we will protect our employees and blah, blah, blah. And it was supposed to be, it started as not mentioning sexual orientation or gender identity in kindergarten through third grade. But recently they've expanded that to now K through 12.
Yep.
Which I'm like, if you can't talk about gender identity, does that mean you can't you can't read Little Women now?
Well, but you also
because
can't
that's
address
expressing
people.
Gender identity.
Well, and then if it's like you can't say, "Hey, girl."
And
What's
I say
up,
"Hey,
bro?"
girl" all the time.
Right? What's up, bro? Also, why is there an ad for Tampax on it? Speaking of gender identity,
the forecast is a super flaw.
And so he's attacking Disney on their wokeness because that's what he likes to talk about. That everything is too woke. And so since Disney has what he decided to do is try to kind of attack them in a way that was going to affect them financially in a way
or
because
their independence.
Right, they're independent because since 1967, basically Disney has acted in Central Florida as its own.
Yeah.
They've been able to govern themselves.
Yes.
So they are able to make the decisions on when to improve, expand, make roads, do all that kind of stuff. And because of the fact that they give so much revenue to the state, they make billions for the state, in taxes and everything like that. So they kind of are allowed to basically not have to go through so many hoops to get things done.
And they pay like all the taxes. Like there's a ton of like taxes and like all the bonds or whatever that they are borrowing or whatever. It's like billions of dollars.
Well, and they don't take any money from the government for like road construction and stuff, like infrastructure.
Yeah.
They take care of all of that.
Yeah.
So in actuality, it was a good idea for the state of Florida to do this because
100%.
it's less money that they have to worry about.
And Florida can't afford it.
Right.
If Florida were like if Florida would have to take on all the stuff from Disney, they would not be able to because it's so much money.
Right. It's basically passive income.
Yeah.
To the state of Florida.
Oh, I want passive income that much.
So, and now, there was an outgoing oversight board who, was kind of pro-Disney.
Yes.
In a way.
Sounds
and then DeSantis decided he was going to gut that and bring in his hand-picked people to go in on this oversight board, so then Disney would not be able to get a lot of stuff done. But before that outgoing board left, they agreed that Disney could do whatever they want in perpetuity.
Yeah, it was like a provision that they had in like one sentence in their legal things or whatever that the new people didn't see.
Right. And so DeSantis is pissed about that.
He was basically out-lawyered.
Right.
Totally was out-lawyered.
Because I'm like, when you look at it, it's like...
Disney is $1 billion, $250 billion conglomeration corporation.
They've got the lawyers.
They have the best of the best. And they will, you can't touch them.
Right. And so when his people came in, they realized they got outmaneuvered right before then. So as of today, which is April 26th, 2023, they voted to reverse that decision, and then Disney filed a lawsuit against DeSantis.
Yeah.
Which
personally against him?
Well, against DeSantis in the state of Florida for doing that, because it's in retaliation. It's affecting their free speech laws and stuff that
Wait. It's affecting the free speech that the Republicans are all about protecting.
Right, exactly. Because they are saying that you are attacking our ability of free speech by retaliating against us for what we said. And he is directly doing it because in different, recently as of this week or last week, he said he was thinking about building a prison near Disney property, which is stupid because if you're the governor of Florida, you should already know that there are 2 prisons located within 20 miles of Disney property.
Yeah.
You should know this
But
already.
also, how much taxpayer money is he wasting with this? You know what I mean? That's almost like when he flew the people to Connecticut or whatever. Or the Hamptons. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, the migrants that came.
Right. And so he wanted to do that. He was also thinking about taxing Disney hotels and placing road tolls around the amusement park.
People would pay it.
People will pay it, but you're not hurting Disney. You're hurting the tourists who come into...
Which is money for your state.
Correct. They were also thinking about considering more inspection regulations. They had specifically said like the Disney monorail. To make sure that they're all up to code and stuff like that. And that's where DeSantis is having a problem because they have specifically said Disney. They're not saying SeaWorld, Universal. They're not including across the board attractions. It's specifically Disney. So it's like that's going to play out because it's like this is going to be considered retaliation when you look at it that way.
So much of this, though, is like political theater. It's just there for emotion, right? And is it going to help DeSantis in the long run play for the presidential?
Well, that's the thing. He was recently in D.C. Trying to gain supporters, and people who were walking out of his like dinner or whatever were then on camera saying they're going to support Trump.
Yeah,
he's losing people. He's losing points in the polls against Trump.
The wokeness, his like. The culture wars that he's promoting is actually biting him in the ass because people are like, oh, we're going to go back to Trump.
Well, and you're also attacking the second largest private employer in Florida. Yeah. They're second only behind Publix, the grocery store. And we all know I love me a Publix.
Because it got an X instead of a CKS.
But also, let me tell you, like their sweet tea, I've talked about this before, their chicken tender sandwiches, their baked goods. You can't, no. There's nothing bad you can say about a Publix.
We were in Tennessee for his convention thing, and for his sister, and I had to run out and get a Publix trip and get him sweet tea, and I had to get his sister a red velvet cake.
Ooh,
that big, and it looked delicious.
Was that good?
And here's a weird thing. Disney is in the unusual position of paying for the lawyers that are fighting it on behalf of the new board members. So, like, this new board that has come in, Disney's paying for it technically because it's being paid with the tax money. All the tax money that funds a new district, now controlled by the governor's appointees, is tax money from Disney. So, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine because they have a lot more money that they can use to, like, destroy you.
Yeah.
You know, and again, it is performative, and this is not going to do anything for DeSantis when he finally decides this isn't going to work. But did you know that he got married at the Grand Floridian in Orlando?
Is that the Disneyland?
Yeah, at Disney World, yeah. And it's like in 2009, and he was like, "Oh, my wife wanted to get married there because her and her family are Disney enthusiasts, but like." You know, his big thing was like he didn't want any characters at his wedding and stuff. But I'm like, you still like
you got married there.
Goofy was definitely there.
Gorsh.
So I mean, you know, so DeSantis stripped Disney of all of its self-governing abilities back in February 2023.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he can like it's he just has to push it through a committee or something.
Yeah.
But like that's why they decided to have the Pride event now in Disneyland, kind of like to shove it in his face. But also it would be cooler if they would promote gay days at Disney and Disney World, which happens in June.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's going to happen in June now.
Well, and I feel like it's interesting because like if you have so much money coming in from tourism that is taxed that goes to your state, like I don't know why you'd be against such a big corporation.
This would be like Gavin Newsom taking on Apple.
Yeah.
Like, you do not go after one of the biggest companies within your state. Because Disney doesn't only just affect Disney.
It's also people employed in Florida.
And people employed in Florida. You've got all those hotels.
Yeah.
You've got car rental businesses. Not only do they affect their own parks, but they affect Universal and SeaWorld because once Disney raises its prices, everybody else follows suit.
Yeah.
You know,
and everybody who goes to Disney will spend one day at one of those other
Right. They go off property to do that. They also go off property to eat. They go off property to shop. They do all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Like the Orlando airport would not be as busy as it was or as large or as grand as it is if it wasn't for Disney.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that you don't understand, DeSantis, is that you can't do this.
I think he does. He just doesn't care.
I think he's so wrapped up in it, and that now his ego's affected. So it's like one of those things where like it's a principle thing to him now.
Yeah. Well, the beauty is like if he is truly going to be a presidential nominee in Florida, you have to surrender all of your positions. So he could effectively, if he's running for the president, like be the president of the United States, he has to forego being the governor of Florida.
I mean, that would be great.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But then it's like, then it's not a runoff.
If you lose,
you
lose.
I mean, he's not slated to.
But he also has to get the nomination. Like, he can't just nominate himself. Like,
but what corporations are going to back him if he comes off being petty and vindictive?
Well,
and his own like
people.
Best revenue generator.
And you're over here, it's basically fascist behavior that you're creating, and it's for everyone to see, because not only did you do the Don't Say Gay bill, but now it's like they voted for 6-week abortion bans.
Yeah, and that he was silent about that. He did that in like the dark of the night. And no, that was for gun. I think it was gun, some like loosening gun stuff.
You know what? But like, even still, like, what do they have like in Florida? Like, you don't even have to have. It's not even regulated or something. Where like, I don't know.
I mean, Florida. No shame on Florida and no tea on Florida, but like they're like probably like the last of the last out of the 50 states.
Like, if you live in Florida and you were gay, lesbian, bisexual, trans, whatever, I was like,
it must be
please get out.
Yeah.
Like, it's not safe anymore, I don't think. Like,
They passed the, I think they passed the bill, or they, like, it's most likely going to be passed where the state can revoke a child if they find out that the parents are giving them gender affirming
they can
care.
take your child if they find out that you're actually giving or allowing that child to give gender affirming care.
Yeah. It's like, talk about what? But, we can't have the government overstepping.
Right.
It's really interesting because we live in a place where I feel like in our bubble we deal with our own sort of discrimination here in California, San Diego, but not to the, like, it's a blue state. And so, like, sometimes you think it's like, how is it even possible that there are places in this country that are still fighting with this on a daily basis? Oh yeah, wake up! It's Florida. Like,
I'm curious to see the youth. I think that the young people are really pissed off.
I hope so.
But that's the thing. Like, that's why they're attacking these kind of issues, because if they can get trans people erased, if they can, get same day voting erased, if they can get mail-in voting erased, then they feel like they'll have a bigger control, because they think the only people who are voting same day, like going to the polls and stuff like that, are Republicans, or they'll do whatever they can.
Democrats.
Well, no, but that's what Republicans want to do. They want to get rid of all that so that the Democrats won't go.
The people who are last minute are more apt to be Democrats.
Yeah, so they're just like, okay, like, we'll have more control over this, but it's like, it's not only Florida, because now all these other states are trying. I forget where it was, but there is a representative who is trans. Who I think it's Kansas, Montana.
It's
or
one of
those, where they're
trying to vote her
silence
out.
her.
Yeah, or they're trying to expel her.
Right. Because she's trans, not because she opposed a bill or something like that, and it's or protested, a bill or something.
I mean, you saw the Tennessee shit. Like, it's petty. It's so petty, and it's like, if that's what your brand is, like, how about you like get stuff done for the people you represent? Like, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what your elected positions are.
Just like, who was that guy on TikTok that we were watching on YouTube? He's a representative on TikTok.
Oh, he's
the
cute.
North Carolina guy?
He's real hot.
He is hot.
Because he's a Democratic
very, very like
representative. But he's fine. And he's just like...
North Carolina, Congressman TikTok.
Yeah.
Jeff Jackson. Yeah, Jeff Jackson.
Because he's like, all of the stuff that you see is all a ruse and it's all fake.
Right, because like when the cameras are there,
they're fine.
They're gonna act out, but when the cameras aren't there, they're gonna
because that's their brand, and they get your audience and they get an attention.
He is super cute, but the one we were watching, I was like, are his eyes really far apart?
If you want to come on the podcast, you're welcome.
But yes, Jeff Jackson, if you would like to come on the podcast, we'd love to have you.
You can please travel here.
Hey, closing thought before you leave all of the political stuff behind. Tucker Carlson, what do you think?
Yes.
Oh,
thank God.
So you know that he has been fired from CNN, MSNBC, PBS, and now Fox.
PBS?
I know PBS don't even want your ass.
Tucker Carlson, he got fired, but they're going to let him live out his contract. He's getting like $20 million a year for the next X number of years to do nothing.
Jesus. And they've already cost Fox $787
and that's the tip of the
million.
iceberg, because now Tucker Carlson is the main person that's being deposed in the misogynistic thing with his old the girl Anna or something, who is like, yo, this was toxic. So he's that, and then there's another lawsuit against Fox. So like Fox may very well cease to exist.
Insolvency, like this will impact their profitability
100%.
But it won't affect their viewers, because you want to know what? The two things that you go on Fox News versus either the online or their commentators on the actual cable news channel, you'll hear nothing about the $787 billion lawsuit.
They don't know anything about it.
And you will hear nothing about the Tucker Carlson being... Like, I have a close friend that his parents are diehard Fox News people, and he was asking how they felt about that. And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "I don't know what you're talking about." It's because Fox News never mentions the lawsuit or the settlement.
Why would they?
And they don't mention at all. You cannot find the Tucker Carlson news on the Fox News website. It's crazy.
Two things. First of all, Tucker Carlson is such a great drag name. Second of all,
it really is.
It's all like this meme, and it was like Tucker Carlson saying, "See you next Monday," and it was like just more misinformation from him.
Have you seen Chelsea lately, where she like basically was like, Tucker Carlson got fired, and then it's like, here's what I have to say, and it's just all of him laughing.
Yeah. Or like there's the green M&M like from the Game of Thrones, the old lady from the Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Like, tell Tucker I want him to know it was me.
I'm hopeful that all these lawsuits that are coming up against Fox may break the company. Because if they're going to have to pay out this money...
There's another misinformation election one that's like
$2.6 billion.
Right.
So if they get settled for half of that, I'm sorry, that's $2 billion right there.
Running out of money.
$787 million is, like, from what I understand, half of what Fox made last year.
Yeah.
So... It's like, that's a lot of money. And it's like you...
Yeah, I think they're liquid. They only have, like... $2 billion or whatever to throw away. It's probably
better than all of their people having to go on the stand and say, yes, I did lie.
Well, that's why I think that's why they settled, and I think that's why Tucker Carlson, because they don't want people who watch the shows to know that all of those people lied, because then it's on record, and then you have to testify.
Right.
So
testify,
Tucker.
All right. So, do we have to do a producer question?
Yeah. Do your jingle.
Producer question. Who's got a question? Producer question. Oh, so funny thing on this boat. Let me just say this real quick. So, when we would go to the Windjammer,
What's the Windjammer?
The Windjammer is the buffet place. So, that's where you get breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay.
They would have a guy out there. He has a sash on. He's called Mr. Washy Washy.
What?
So he tells you to wash your hands before you go into the buffet.
Yeah, as you walk in, there's this long line of sinks on both sides, so you wash your hands before you go
eat.
Right, to keep you from getting sick or passing along anything.
Is Mr. Washy Washy a real person?
Yes, because they have somebody out there that's like who does that, and they sing. So one day, as we're leaving lunch, I'm walking by the guy, and he's singing his Mr. Washy Washy song, "Wash your hands, wash your hands," and I go by, and I'm like, "Wash your hands, wash your hands."
And then you go, and now you have my job.
And then he was like, "Thank you, I appreciate you." Like, while he's singing it, I'm like, "Wash your hands."
Have a blessed day.
It was cute because he was just taking popular songs and he'd twist them around to be about washing your hands. and really funny and really good at it.
Now that's someone we should get on this show.
Okay.
Mr. Washi Washi.
Mr. Washi Washi.
All right, what's the producer question today?
Your question today is, when you were little, I don't want to say a little boy, like when you were a little younger, who was like your coolest person to you? Who was your idol? Who did you like look up to?
Oh my God.
Right? Like it could be somebody like famous, not famous, and why?
Mrs. Turner, who was the librarian in my elementary school, because I loved the library, and she would let me come in there during lunchtime. She let me stay after school and help work on making sure the books were all in order. We were using the Dewey Decimal System. We had the index cards.
Yeah.
I could use the microfiche machine.
The what?
The microfiche machine.
You just threw out a bunch of words, Joe.
I knew Dewey. I know the card things.
Not like Dewey, Louie, and Huey.
No, the decimal system.
Right. You never seen a microfiche?
No.
And it's like a machine, and you get like little almost like
they're miniature pictures
film
of documents. So back before you had the ability to digitally store documents, you could do a whole newspaper on a couple of these.
So this is what it looked like.
Oh.
And then you'd put it under this machine that was like
and
projected.
it would zoom it up.
You could then read it.
Or copy it or print it up. So it was a way to store massive amounts of paper
In small. Oh.
But also, the AV for the school was in the library. So when we would have movie day in the school, I was the one who got to turn that on and off and push play.
Oh.
And I thought I was so cool
There you go.
being able to do that,
I love that.
Like, that was me. And so, like, that, she has always been, like, the person I looked up to. I still remember, she's the one person I remember their name, who are my teachers in elementary school, or even any of my, like, except for Mrs. Ruggiero, who was my drama teacher in high school, and then Mr. Klein, who was one of my teachers in middle school, but that was because he was hot and I really liked him. He was like a muscle guy, and I was like, oh, I see where I get it from.
Mr. Klein.
I know.
Oh my God.
What about you, Joe?
I think for me, it would be my English teacher in high school, Mrs. Stevenson. Because she was a single mom, but also she was like really cool and she was nice to me. And it's like, I feel like it's the trope where it's like, you're gay when like you have a close relationship with your English teacher.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, she was like, I think I looked up to her. Yeah. Not as like, I feel like your story is more fun. I don't think I had many like, not idols, but like
People you looked up to, and
yeah.
I remember third grade. If we're gonna do a teacher's route, so it sounds like that's the theme of this now. Is like teacher you looked up to. Mine would be second grade Mrs. Grassy, because she taught us Spanish and how to make wilderness survival kits because I lived in Tucson, and so it'd be like your little like meat tenderizer kit with put on you could put it on a wound with a Band-Aid if you're in the she was great, Mrs.
Meat tenderizer.
It's like this. Like, we would put meat tenderizer in like a little case because it was. Or like meat seasoning or something.
Oh, okay. So like it would help scab over anything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
And it would taste delicious. It wasn't like cayenne pepper.
And she was also one of the only teachers I ever had where my parents had to go in and be like, Nick is misbehaving, but I don't think it's because he's a bad student. It's because he's too bright for my class.
Aww.
I was like, thanks, Miss Grassy.
Aww.
I can't even imagine Nick misbehaving.
I know, me neither.
I can.
What about you, Andy?
Oh, I'm not prepared.
I'd like to change my answer.
Okay.
I think mine would be Mr. Harrington. He was my 7th grade teacher, and he was like probably. I feel like he was the most impactful to me because I remember we had like a parent teacher conference thing, right? Is that what those are called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he like goes to my mom and goes, I want you to know that Joe is the kind of person that has the ability to like bring people up and also like bring them down. And he's like, you need to teach him to be like, bring people up.
Use his power for good.
Right. Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm prepared now.
Okay, go ahead.
So 2. One was my high school English teacher, Mrs. Jones. So Mrs. Jones was actually the mother of one of my best friends in high school. And so it was really weird to have this person that you knew socially that you also knew as your teacher. Yeah. And she was just an awesome teacher. She loved English and literature, and she treated us like we were college students. So it was just a great environment. And the other was Mr. Cromie, who was our drama and chorus teacher. Amazing guy and super fun. Again, one of those teachers I think that treats you like an adult when you're not.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that.
I will say, like, as we're talking, I had this like flash of like a memory, and it was like I remember when we had open house. Like, I would take my mom and my dad. Like, the first thing I would go do is like go take them up to the library and introduce them to Mrs. Turner, because it was like that was like my thing. And
your relationship,
right? So,
with your Dewey Decimal System.
Being the Dewey Decimal System.
And what you call it? Microclave?
Microfiche.
Microfiche.
You gotta call it microfiche. Fiche.
She is serving microfiche tonight.
All right, everyone. Have a great week.
Special thanks to Andrew Smith and Nick Stone for producing the show. If you like us, please follow us at tugayspod on Instagram and visit us online at tugayspod.com. You can find us anywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know topics you'd like to hear. And always remember, stay safe, stay classy, stay sassy, and always stay a little bit trashy. See you next week.